Metroid 2: The Return of Samus is a direct sequel to the original Metroid. This game is also has a lot of similarities with the movie Aliens. There was no other way, but I had to put in the Super Game Boy once again. I thought I'd never actually get a chance to see this, but let's start the game. So what's the story of Metroid 2? Well, just like in Aliens, Ripley goes to LV-426 to destroy all the aliens known as the Xenomorphs. In Metroid, it's SR-388 to destroy all the Metroids. Before we talk more about it, let me change the color of the game's, the screen of Metroid 2. Anyways, back to the story. So apparently, one Metroid survived from the first Metroid game, as it was said in the trailer of Metroid 2. But accordingly, this Metroid is multiplying, which is very similar to the Alien Queen. Under the screen, there's an energy bar. There's the E, which is basically your health, which is 99. The triangle shape is missiles, which you have 30, and Metroids, you have to destroy 39 of them. And trust me, it's not going to be easy. I also want to know that if you think killing a Metroid that easily just by shooting at it, no. They will evolve, like this one. This is the Alpha Metroid, very easy to kill. Once you do actually kill it, you think it's just, oh, we're done here. But then you feel that the game will shake like it's an earthquake, which means that you'll be progressing more deeper in the cave, which will make it more challenging than you think it's easy. I also noticed that in Metroid 2 was the first time that your HP was at 99, while in the first one you started only at 30. Most times when it comes to going down and progressing the game, you have to jump over platforms. Yeah, this is kind of hard if you're not used to jumping one place to another. Most of the time when you're exploring in the cave of SR-388, sometimes the music will stay quiet and it won't be really high. This actually it could also lead, when this happens, it'll lead you to find where the Metroids are. In the first Metroid game, you had to use passwords to continue. In the Japanese version of the first one, it was save. Now you can save in Metroid 2. In the first one and Super Metroid, when you find the Morph Ball, in this one you get the bombs. Yeah, you get a bomb. And oh look, it's a missile, so you can increase your missiles. And if anybody's asking me how many energy tanks or E-tanks you're carrying, you can only go up to 5. That's how much you can go up to. One of the most interesting items that actually exists in Metroid 2, which didn't debut in Super Metroid but came back in Metroid Prime, was none other than the Spider Ball. So basically, if you press down on the D-pad, you can actually it gets stuck so you can move around. Kinda like a spider. Pretty impressive, right? Looks like Spider-Man isn't the only one that's able to walk around the walls. Some Metroids, actually most of them are hidden, so sometimes you have to go up by using the Spider Ball. That's a good thing. Sometimes you can actually shoot them and it could actually take a hit after you contact with them. If you make them get stuck on somewhere, you have a higher advantage of killing them. While playing this game, I also realized that you can do some awesome epic stunts, for speedruns. Now here's an interesting one. If you actually morph into the ball, then use bomb, and then get near to the wall, use spider ball, you are able to climb up and then pass so that way you won't be bothered by the aliens, even though you're gonna meet some. In this part, you get the high jump boots. You remember those from the Super Metroid review. One thing that struggles me is whatever you destroy, it respawns back. Now that's usually something that's normal, but in Metroid 2, as I'm trying to get back up, it's hard to get out of the place. Most of the time, whenever you have to go up, sometimes you have to use the spider ball. But before you use the spider ball, you have to use the same trick that you use a bomb and then land in one of the sides of the wall. Now this is a mini boss. This one I thought, if you shoot him, he dies. Apparently, it's not that easy. The only way to defeat this boss is by using bombs. The only way he'll curl up into a ball is if you shoot him and then you time it right to turn into the morph ball and explode him. And once you do kill him, you get it's an ability that you can jump even if you're in morph ball. One of the most interesting items that Samus equips is the Varia suit. This is the first time that it actually comes out. It was originally called Barrier Suit, but it was, kind of mistaken since the suit was called Varia. In the first Metro game, it was the regular and the power suit. What's cool about the Varia suit is that it transforms. Pretty cool, huh? Well, that's not all. It actually reduces damage. Do you remember I mentioned to you guys about Metroids evolving? Well, here's one. The Alpha becomes what appears to be a Gamma Metroid. It seems that the Gamma Metroid actually has the ability to electrify. And every time you fight an evolved Metroid, it'll take longer hits to kill it. There are sometimes places you want to try to land, like in this part, it's really hard to get where you're trying to go for. But there's so many small enemies that if you touch them, you'll take damage. Another new thing that's very interesting is the space jump. It allows you to jump multiple times. It's the first time that you get it in a Metroid game. So I noticed that while I was taking a break, I realized that people were just relaxing. 2 people are playing the Game Boy, 1 is reading the newspaper, and 1 is actually sleeping. I'd be really surprised if I went to a movie theater and while the movie is playing, they pause for a moment and then it happens like this. In this part, this is where the Gamma Metroid becomes a Zeta Metroid. So Zeta Metroids are like smaller versions of a T-Rex. But oh man, the smaller they are, the more powerful they are. This Metroid now shoots projectiles, but what makes it much harder is that it moves so fast. So if you want to try to aim at a perfect spot, you have to make sure that it's not moving. And find its weak point to shoot it, because this is where they start protecting their weak points. Finally, we destroyed the Zeta Metroid to retrieve one of the best items that is useful to help you out. I present to all of you the best weapon, Screw Attack. And no, we're not talking about Death Battle and all that. Alright, I'm gonna go down, gonna get out, and wait, what? Okay, that's a glitch. Like, I'm not joking, that's actually a glitch. Now, before reaching through the Queen, you have to finish the battle between an Omega Metroid and Samus. So the Zeta evolves into a Omega and it looks very similar to a T-Rex. The only way to kill it this time is by aiming it at the mouth or its hunchback as it's shown in the game. And what makes it much harder is that before you reach the Queen, you have to kill 3 more of them. At least this game is much better than that stupid clown monster movie horror that's supposed to jump scare people, even though I doubt it's not going to scare anyone. So I reached through the Queen, so in order to get all the way to the Queen, you have to go really up. And this is what you need to do. Step 1, you need to get your energy full, and you have to find an energy refill, which is, there are 2 sections, and there's an energy refill and a missile refill. Second, get the ice beam, because this is what you need to face the final boss. You know, now that I think about it, most of this kind of reminds me again on the movie Aliens, where Ripley actually goes all the way down to the factory in order to find the alien queen and rescue the kid that the aliens kidnapped. And just when you think it's finally over, 8 more Metroids comes in. So you probably thought, oh, the final boss is easy, I'm just gonna kill it. Nope, the final boss releases 8 of its leftovers, which is basically 8 alpha Metroid. No, not alpha, larva Metroids. Do you remember I told you guys to get the ice beam? Well, that's meant for the 8 Metroids. The 8 Metroids' weakness are ice. Once they're frozen, shoot them 5 times with missiles, and then you could continue on killing more. Usually a Metroid is what it's supposed to be. It basically attaches your face like, well, attaches the head like a facehugger. The only way to get off of it is by using bombs. Once you destroy all the Metroids, it's time to face the Queen. This is also reminds me so much when Ripley actually faced against the Alien Queen. You just go inside the hole and BAM! There's the Queen Metroid. The only way to defeat the Queen Metroid is by making sure that the mouth opens and then shoot a missile. But apparently right now the Queen Metroid refuses, so if the Queen Metroid refuses, just shoot missiles at its face. It can still affect it. While the Queen Metroid goes back, or walks back, it'll shoot some 3 projectiles, so the only way to destroy them is using the screw attack. You can dodge the first move, but you gotta be really fast because once you shoot, you turn into a morph ball, get inside there, and start exploding its guts. Or you can actually explode its mouth. That's easier, but if you explode the guts, it makes it more effective. Now I'm looking at the Queen Metroid. For some reason, I'm still thinking about the Queen Alien. I guess they're very similar since those two are basically rulers of their own species. And I also found out that in Japan, the movie Aliens, as it was called here in America, in Japan, I think it's pronounced Alien 2, so it actually connects with Metroid 2, The Return of Samus. And then once you think it's over, it's actually over because once it's done, your health gets regained and like it refills easily. And you finally kill the Queen Metroid, which only leaves no more Metroids. Or I thought so. Apparently there is one final Metroid, but this one actually helps you out. It's a baby Metroid, but it's very harmless and has confused Samus as if Samus was the baby Metroid's mom. I think this was one of my favorite moments because there were a lot of things blocking the way in order to get out, but the baby Metroid had the ability to get rid of it by absorbing them or, eating them. When I was a kid, this game took me forever. I was really having a hard time on it. I got rage quitted. But now looking at it, it's a really great game. It's actually one of the best Game Boy games. Now there's only 2 ways you can actually get back to your ship. The first is to turn into a spider ball, or you could use a screw attack, but you have to time it right to jump multiple times. However, don't go too high because there's an area where you'll take damage, so make sure you reach at the right spot. One thing I always love to do, and I always do it every time I play this, is try to land at the ship without touching the top part. So I have to land where the seat is and then see if I can time it right. And that's Metroid 2, The Return of Samus. I'm glad you guys enjoyed watching this review because if this review was mostly created in honor of Metroid Samus Returns, the remake of the original Metroid 2, The Return of Samus. I can't wait to play it once I get, by the time this video has already been uploaded, I probably already have the game or, But, in anyways, Metroid's one of the best games. Nintendo has made so many awesome. Most of these times, usually I try everything I can to make a video, but I haven't done anything. But this month and the rest, I'll be working on a lot of videos. Maybe I might get a 2-month off this time next year. I wish good luck on everyone who is gonna play Metroid Samus Returns, because it's gonna be a harder version. Well, I think Metroid Samus Returns is gonna be much harder than the original. I also forgot to mention that if you collect everything, like all the E-tanks, all the missiles, you'll actually get the 100% alternate ending. So you know what? I'll let you guys figure that one out. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm TheClayberry, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.